Neal Magny, Geoff Hands of Steel Neal. Dude, this was a great fight.
This was another one that was really good.
This was a really good, and I would say it was super close because, I mean, the first time I watched it, I almost thought you could have maybe made arguments Geoff Hands of Steel Neal won the second round. I did edge it to Neal Magny, and he definitely won the third, in my opinion. It was a very, very good fucking fight, though. That first round, he almost finished Neal Magny multiple times.
But, bro, the pace that Magny puts on in his cardio is insane. Mm-hmm. I mean, and especially with a guy like Geoff Neal, you want to out-pressure him, you want to outpoint him, and that's exactly what Neal Magny did here. Mm-hmm. I mean, he Neal was landing shots. Mm-hmm. When I say Neal, I mean Geoff Neal. And the broadcast was screwing
Neal versus Neal.
You say Neal versus Neal, right? But and it was funny, too, because DC was joking around about that. He goes, that sounds like a law firm, Neal and Neal, which is great. But I'll refer to him as their first and last name. But Geoff, he was throwing big shots and he was landing occasionally, but Neal Magny was the guy landing more combinations. He was getting in and out of the pocket. He just looked like the fresher, better fighter. Not to say Geoff Neal was not gassed or anything. I was actually very impressed with the way his cardio held up in this fight too. But Neal Magny, man, I don't know what the hell he was doing his last fight. Who did he fight his last fight? I forget.
He got beat by Chiesa.
By Chiesa, that's right. And he was like trying to grapple him. And I was like, what are you doing, Neal? You're winning the fight on your feet. Quit trying to grapple him. Quit trying to go to the mat. But now I think he's got it back together, and he looked phenomenal against Geoff Neal.
He really did.
He really did. And he definitely won that fight.
And just the way he fucking skated around he must have watched the Wonder Boy fight. Yeah. It didn't work in the first. Like, let's be real. Hands of Steel was landing those power shots in the first. And Geoff, I almost called him Geoff Neal, but it's Neal Magny. Neal Magny, his eye was getting really swollen there in the first. So the way he was dancing around the outside of the octagon and picking and choosing his shots, landing nice little 1-2s, it was so fucking impressive. He must have watched the Wonder Boy fight because that's how you got to fight Geoff Neal. Yeah, you cannot stand in the middle and try to pressure this man. No. You will get put to fucking sleep. Yeah. And Geoff Neal everyone talks about his hands and how good his hands are, but he is surprisingly very, very good with his kicks as well. He was super impressive in the first round. It's just, there's something about that pressure, and it does chip away at your gas tank. I just think Neal Magny found a way to make it extend a little bit longer, especially in the third round, I would say. But nevertheless, I was very impressed with both guys, and I'm super happy for Neal Magny. What do we do with him now? I mean, he's a top guy in this welterweight division. Is he top 5? No. But beating Geoff Hands of Steel Neal, that commands so much respect, in my opinion, because this guy is fucking avoided by everybody in this welterweight division. So respect to Neal Magny for taking the fight. Yeah. And guess who he fucking wants to fight next? I almost forgot his name. Khamzat Chimaev.
What?
Yes.
He wants to go down.
He wants to fight Khamzat Chimaev because he has been consistently the only person calling him out. And Khamzat says, do not run from me because now I'm coming for you at 170, my guy.
So okay, let me ask you this, though, as a hypothetical from a fan perspective. What does that do? Do you think that adds value in stock to Neal Magny's name?
Yes.
If he can go out there and beat a guy like Khamzat
Chimaev? Yes, just because of the hype behind Khamzat Chimaev. I mean, we got to remember, they gave him Leon Edwards.
Right. But and here's the question, because obviously Khamzat had a huge 2020, but obviously has been put kind of on the back burner all of 2021. And we do know MMA fans, they have a very short memory. Do you think any of that necessary hype has been taken away? Not from our perspective, because we're still hyped on Khamzat, but as far as like the casual fans or the people less, involved with the sport, do you think a little bit of that hype has been taken away? Do you think it still holds the same value as what it would have, this matchup would have had 6 months ago?
Probably not. And I like the point you're trying to make. Probably not. If Neal Magny was smart, like, I'm not saying he's dumb in any facet, but I mean, if he was really picking his matchups and being a smart fighter, he would not be calling out this man. But he knows if he is the first guy to beat this man, that will I don't care. It doesn't matter if he's ranked or not. I think it catapults him, and I think they start talking about Neal Magny maybe getting like a fucking Jorge Masvidal or maybe a Gilbert Burns off a seed Wonder Boy Thompson loss or something like that.
Yeah. And see, that's the problem though with this welterweight division is no one's going to take a guy like Neal Magny. No one.
Not in the top 6. What's the point?
There's not, because they're all sitting
exactly.
And they're all like picking and choosing their fights. So here's the matchup: either shit or get off the pot. Damian Maia.
Ooh.
I would love to see that fight because obviously Magny struggled with Michael Chiesa. So I would hope his game plan would be a lot different, try to stay on the feet with Damian Maia. Well, I mean, Maia hasn't fought in quite a while. It's been about a year.
Yeah.
It's the last time he
I thought he had a fight announced, but
that's I thought too.
I think it fell through or something like that. It's been a while, but I do remember hearing that Damian Maia was in the news cycle not too long ago. Yeah. I think he's one and done now. I think he's going to take one more fight and then he's going to retire. So, I mean, I think a Neal Magny would be a great fight.
I would like that a lot. It's a big name for Neal Magny as well, who's also a vet in the sport. It's been around for a while.
Here's another, or like a Vicente Luque.
That was the other one.
We're on the same page.
We're definitely on the same page there. The only thing with Vicente Luque is I almost feel like he deserves a bigger, not a bigger. I don't want to say bigger name, but I mean a higher ranked opponent. After what he's been able to do in his last couple of fights. Does Chiesa have a fight?
No, he's fucking. Remember, Usman's calling him out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
That's not happening. Apparently, Dana put the fucking ends to that. He's like, no.
Yeah. Well, Jorge Masvidal's out for the rest of the year. You got obviously Thompson and Burns fighting. You got Edwards. Edwards is fighting.
Yeah, but
Diaz.
he's fighting Nate.
Yeah,
no, that's getting pushed back.
And then Colby. What is Colby gonna do?
Fucking sit and wait for a title shot.
Colby Chiesa.
That's a great fight, and I would love to see it. And Chiesa did call him out. It was on. Remember, Chiesa's last fight, he beat Neal Magny on Inauguration Day, might I add. So that was just a double whammy with the call outs because Colby's a big Magny guy. So it was cool. It was cool. I love that matchup. But let's be real, Colby is just going to probably wait for this title shot. Dana's already saying that's the next fight to make. Kamaru's kind of playing games with this. He doesn't want to give Colby the opportunity. We understand why. They're not good friends. They hate each other.
Yep. And
I just don't know what's going to happen. It's kind of a little bit of in limbo right now.
I'm kind of siding with the pound for pound greatest fighter.
No, I absolutely understand that.
Colby is so inactive.
And look at what we're getting. Is it next weekend or is it the weekend? No, it's it's not this next pay-per-view. It's a pay-per-view afterwards. Gilbert Burns, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. If Stephen Wonderboy Thompson wins that fight, he deserves to leapfrog Colby and get that title shot.
But again, and then because of it would have been Nate Diaz, Leon Edwards just got postponed till next card as well.
And if the winner of that fight probably would have had a really, really strong, compelling argument to fight for the belt next.
Yeah.
So it's this, do we want to award a guy that is just sitting?
No, I don't think you can afford to with this division. It's too stacked. You've got a guy in Leon Edwards who has had 9 consecutive fights without a loss. 8 of those he won. You got a guy like Stephen Wonderboy Thompson who has won, 4 or 5 in a row now, who has been looking phenomenal. I mean, and Gilbert Burns obviously coming off that loss, to Kamaru Usman. But it's like, dude, there's too many killers in this division for you to just sit around and have one win and then just sit on that for a year. I get it. And I talk about it all the time. That Kamaru Usman-Colby Covington fight was phenomenal. 2-2 going into the 5th. Incredible fight. But again, I think Kamaru Usman at this point in his career is so much better, has improved so much. We don't really know how much Colby's improved. Kamaru could go out there and starch Colby in the second round. He could put him to sleep in the second round. He's that much improved. And I don't like seeing a guy inactive, and I don't think you reward it.
You know what Usman's worst matchup is? It's Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, dude. And unless he could take him down.
Agree with
unless
that.
He could just take him down and dominate on the ground, which absolutely could happen. Which is almost why I'm a little pissed they didn't make the Colby Wonderboy fight in the first place. Colby is just saying no. I just want to fight for the belt.
Yeah.
It is frustrating. It is frustrating. Ant W, shout out again. If Neal was smart, he would go fight out his contract and win $1 million in PFL. He's one of those guys that would need to be on an 8-fight win streak just to get a shot in the UFC. Absolutely, 100% agree with that, unless he beat a Khamzat Chimaev. I think there is enough hype behind that name to where if you get that victory and then you say you beat a Leon Edwards or you beat a fucking Colby Covington, you beat another top guy after that, you could be fighting for the belt sooner, but I agree.
That's only if Dana matches you up with him, though.
Exactly. That's only if they fucking say yes.
Yeah.
And I think we've spent way too much time
on
this already.
We absolutely have.
So let's go into our picks. I put 1,000 church coin on Neal Magny. I'm super glad. I thought that was just a weird that he was a plus 190. I thought that was just such a good value. I could not go against that pick.
Yeah, and I put 1,000 on Neal as well. So, no, I'm just joking. Yeah. I can't cheat here. I put 1,000 on Geoff Neal, and I lost that one. So it is what it is.
It is what it is.